Oh, Christmas. Drinking hot chocolate, hanging out with family, opening presents. These are the things that Christmas is about, right? Now, for many people, including myself, this is, or at some point has been, the reality of what Christmas is. But as we know, with every plus, there's a minus. With every yin, there's a yang. And with every positive, you guessed it, there's a negative. And so for many people, this version of Christmas that I just described to you guys is actually the complete opposite of what they're used to experiencing. And so with that being said, this year I'm gonna be spending Christmas alone for the first time in my life on such a seemingly magical holiday. And I was really sad when I first came to this realization, because I'm so used to at least having some friends that I can call home for the holidays. I'm at least used to having friends that are like family to me. But this is the first year where I don't even have that. And in a world where it looks like there are people connected everywhere you go, from the mall to the subway station, the truth of the matter is I'm not the only one spending this time alone. And so, according to a statistic that I found online, 1 in 9 Americans spend Christmas alone, and 1 in 6 Americans spend the entirety of New Year's alone. And even though I'm not in America at the moment, I really wondered to myself, how much different can the rest of the world actually be? Whether you're in America or you're here in Bangkok, people are still people. We all have eyes, we all have ears, we all have noses, we all have fingernails. Frick, we all have hair growing out of our eyeballs called eyelashes. But more importantly, we all have experiences that we go through that can render us feeling sad and lonely. And so while this sadness and loneliness is some people's perspective and reality during the holidays, what if I told you guys that this doesn't have to be mine and it doesn't have to be yours? You see, when I was 15 during my driving lessons, one day me and my teacher were practicing, and she said something to me that would stick with me 6 years later to this very moment. She said, whichever part of the road you focus on while you're driving is where your car is gonna go. And that quote may not sound that deep, but I believe that the parallel between that analogy and the entirety of our human existence go hand in hand. You see, my friend, in this intricate experience that we call life, just us being alive day to day is us driving the vehicle of life. We wake up in the morning and we go to bed at night just to repeat the linear cycle the next day. And whatever we decide to focus on within our day and night is the direction that our vehicle of life is gonna head towards. For instance, let's say every single day I focus on becoming a plumber for 5 years. And in those 5 years, I'm learning every step to become a plumber, every detail, every single piece of knowledge there is to know about being a plumber. You better bet that I'm gonna be one of the best plumbers that this world has ever seen. By focusing every day to become a plumber, my vehicle of life is gonna go towards being a plumber. It's my choice whether I want to put my focus on this whole perception of being sad and alone. If I solely put my focus on how sad and alone I am for the holidays, then of course the outcome is going to be me being sad and alone. Because whatever part of the road you focus on while you're driving is where your car is going to go. The whole concept of being alone in itself is also very fascinating. Because even though we have social media that's supposed to gather people and connect people from all around the world, so many people are feeling more separated than ever. And in big cities like Bangkok that have over 11 million people within the one city, people are somehow feeling more distant than ever. Now, I have a question for you guys. So does that mean that we're really alone? Or do we put parameters around our own life that stop us from forming meaningful relationships with the people in our own neighborhood? When you look up the definition of loneliness, you'll find loneliness is an unpleasant emotional response to perceived isolation. So what exactly is causing this feeling of isolation? I mean, unless you're stranded on an island from a shipwreck, or somehow ended up on Mars by yourself, I would like to think that we cause ourselves to emotionally disconnect from the rest of society. Because to be fair, no one said that putting yourself out there was comfortable. And no one said that creating meaningful relationships was easy. But isn't it at the very least worth fighting for? Even though it's hard putting yourself out there, my friend, isn't it just as hard being lonely in life? I believe that creating new relationships and maintaining old ones is one of the most valuable things that we could do, my friends. And I think it's very important, my friends, that we also realize that this fight against this perceived loneliness and isolation is not against this flesh and blood that we call home, but rather the restrictions that we put on our mind and we put on our heart. So even though I'm spending Christmas alone this year, I'm gonna remember that whatever part of the road you focus on while you're driving is where your car is gonna go. And this is why I'm not sad to be alone on Christmas. I wanna challenge you guys to go say hi to the next person you're in an elevator with. Maybe they were having a good day, or maybe they were having a bad day. You'll never know until you ask. Go say hi to your grocery store clerk next time you're at the store getting milk. And go tell your family and friends that you love them with a heart emoji. And even if it's uncomfortable to do these things, living a life of comfortability is boring and leads to no growth in life. But again, the choice is yours. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and just watching my little food for thought. I sincerely enjoy sharing memories like these with you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video, and share it with one person. Share it with your ex-lover, share it with your grandma, I don't care who. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho!